good evening, welcome. Hi everybody. She's just zipping up all her containers, 40,000 things to create this look. So we're zipping up our containers. We're just going to get some better light going because we're going to just do this quickly while we're waiting for people to join in. Oh gosh, find that. We haven't quite worked out our timing yet. There we go. There we go. So that's going to go there. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. So good evening and welcome. I'm just fixing my bola. If you're South African, you'll know what that is. Hi, hi, hi. Hi, boys and girls. Lucy Eggleston's here. Janice MacDonald. Oh, hello, Janice MacDonald. Who else is here? Oh, good evening. Hello, Nicola Cummins. Jamie Riding, you old fruit, you. Hello, darling. So nice to have you all here with us. Oh, she's dripping like a faucet, and I don't mean from me unmentionables. I'm dripping, dripping, dripping. I don't know if I've got an allergic reaction to England or what the story is, but I'm just going to pour a cup of tea and then I'll be with all of you instantly. Who's there? Jane Sample. Hello, Jane. Janice MacDonald, my baker's in the house, honey. Rossano Soulfleet. Oh, hello, boy. He's a gorgeous boy, but apparently he's taken now. Oh, dear. Who else? Who else? Hello, hello, hello. Michelle Arrowsmith, good day. Pearl necklace. Yes, I inherited it. I inherited it. Hello, all the Arrowsmiths. Every arrow, every smith. Oh dear. She's got hair in her mouth. There we go. There we go. Oh gosh. I was running late, as is a lady's prerogative to do, and didn't really see the time, and you know, so we had to rush to try and get this going. There we go. That's better. Now I feel lots better. I can see everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Apologies, guys. Apologies. The first couple of minutes have been in the dark, almost like deepest, darkest Africa. What's going on with my pearls? Oh dear. I gave the staff the weekend off, so I don't have a dresser this weekend. My lady in waiting isn't around. So I've had to do everything on my own. I mean, can you imagine it? Can you even just cope? I can't cope. I'm finished. So there we go. Oh, now she feels better. So I'm Lady Martinique. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you all have your cups of tea at the ready. There needs to be alcohol in the cup. The cups may not, no, thank you. The cups may not be empty, first of all, and need to have alcohol. Lots of alcohol. Chuckers. Ugh. My red bush tea comes from a wet red wine bottle. Funny that. Candace Young, hello, darling. Erasmus Rossano, good evening. Hi, Tracy Erasmus. Oh, I know that old tart from years back, years and years and years ago. Now tonight I'm going to have a guest on the show, and my guest is going to be Fanny's Fun and Frolics. Now I don't know if she's ready, but I'm sure that as soon as she's ready she will pop on. Claire says hello. Linda Higgins says hello. I have got hair in places I never knew I had hair. The problem is that I've got a fan to my right, and the fan is just blowing everything. Let's move that a little bit. There we go. Oh, she's not sure about that. Oh, how do you all like my Amy Winehouse? Little tribute this evening, a little bit of Africa. Leopard print, don't you know? Leopard print, don't you know? We're going to try and figure all of this out. As you can tell, we have no expense spared on the budget, and so we're just finding our seat, finding our rhythm. I've got makeup boxes everywhere. It's just a whole story. Louise Dance, hello sweetheart. Claire Whitchurch, good evening. I want to see, oh, there's Kat Jarrett. Carrot Jarrett, one of my sisters from another mister. She's related to Pepper Spray. They know each other. Those two on a night out together. Reese, good evening. Obviously childless. Who, me? Or you, Michelle? Are you childless? Are you barren at the moment? Or have you exported them or given them away to someone? Cross between Bet Lynch and Deirdre Barlow? Yeah, cheeky bitch. This is authentic Africa meets Britain. Desiree. Oh dear. People are going to talk. Karen Jarman, hey Guava Barbie. Everybody say hi. Lots of hearts, guys. Jonathan Fry, good evening, you sexy beast, you. How's that little boy of yours? Auntie Martinique wants to see that child. So much of joy for you and your beautiful little boy. So, who else? Reese, we're out about to leave the Two Brewers. Oh dear. Have you got me on stage in a pub? Oh. Don't know about that. Get me home instantly. Finished. Looking lovely, Lady Martinique. Thank you, Naomi. Naomi is my godson's mother, and Louise is my godson's parent as well. And I'm just adjusting the bolla. That's a wig, or the hair, in real terms, the hair. So my godson, Naomi's his mummy. Hello, Linda Hunter, you old tart. I've known Linda for 40,000 years, at least, honey. So many people are here. Go ahead, start a watch party, invite people. I want the police to knock on the door for making too much noise. And of course, in England at the moment, on Monday, we go back down to 6 people maximum in one space. Well, I want to beat the shit out of that because I think all of us should be here together. So invite the world. Let's throw a party this evening. Let's have an absolute ball, doll. Now, when Fanny Craddock is available, I'm sure she will come along. Cheers, cheers. Everyone's saying cheers. Lucy, I'm catching up, guys. Wine, yes. You're looking gorgeous, Lady Marty. Oh, Reese, if I was 20 years younger, honey. Good evening. I'm here. Hello, good evening. Karamina. Oh, can't wait for you to visit in a couple of weeks' time. I'm told you're coming to visit us down in the Bournemouth. Lovely. Guava is here, looking fabulous. Oh, thank you. Fabulous Beehive. It's my little Amy Winehouse. Now, Andrew did this for me. Now, Andrew, or AJ, is from the House of Martinique. Yes, soon we will have products available. He did a little updo. We had a consultation. I had to go for a fitting, the whole story. You know how these things go. Never ever okay with just one thing. We had to do quite a few things. So, yes. Better Lynch again. Oh, I'm on the way, darling. 5 minutes. Oh, you must know her. Best you go to rehab. What? Because I'm doing a little tribute to what's her face? Amy Winehouse. Well, I'm having wine and I'm in the house, so can't I be Amy? Hello. Everybody needs a teacup and everybody needs alcohol in their teacups. Oh, sexy man just wandered into the room. Pity we don't have double-sided vision. Hello to everybody that's here. So lovely of all of you to join us for your evening. Hoping all of you are in for the long haul. We're going to be here for 2 hours. We're going to be doing all sorts of things. Chatting with old Fanny Craddock. Now, Fanny and I go way back. We met at a cocktail party. We'll have a bit of cock and we'll have a bit of tail. But you know, that's how things go, Jonathan. Oh, I'm getting messages again and again. Yes, Queen. Pepper sends her love and says she can't wait till your next live tea party. Well, Pepper and I need to get together because there's a scandal. Lots of people loving my beehive from AJ from the House of Martinique. I'm just telling AJ he's in attendance. Good evening. Hello, Kim. My poor child has no clue what is going on because we've just, changed a little bit. No. In fact, you've got white fur. Oh, don't you moan at me. This is my broadcast. Off you go. That was Bella making a 5-second appearance. Bella can sit by AJ. Right, Tracy Erasmus is opening wine, I hope. I hope that's, Tracy, is the symbol for opening wine, having a party. One must have a party. I want to see 6 people per head. Oh, yes, on Monday. I want to see all your wine glasses. Now, your teacups. I know you can't share pictures on here, but go to our page, tell people what you thought of this evening, and share a picture of your beverage. You can do that. You can do that while you're watching this. Drinking bubbly, drinking the wine and feeling fine. Looking gorgeous is Anne-Marie Smell. Thank you, darling. This little Out of Africa ensemble has been a collaboration between myself and AJ from the House of Martinique. That's Haus, House of Martinique. She is coiffured up to within an inch of her life. Every single pubic hair is standing on its edge. It is just too much. Way too much. Right, now we've got whole paragraphs people are writing. Oh, Diane Bison's here. Hello, Di. How are you, doll? Looking fabulous, I hope. I have actually stayed up for my beautiful. Good girl, Karen. Good girl. She's sitting side saddle. I'm being corrected. Last week, I was told that I was sitting open-legged and wide-legged by that cheeky bitch Jamie Riding. So this week I've actually got the, what are those people called? Trading standards? What are they called? Where you complain about things? I've got one sitting across from me checking my legs are shut. So we're not going to make that mistake again. Oh, lots. You are giving us Salome Otterborn vibes. A la Angela Lansbury from Death on the Nile. Where is your Peter Ustinov, you delicious diva? You know, Jonathan Fry, if you keep flirting with me like that, you're going to have to leave your husband. And you know, I'm a married lady. I don't take kindly to be flirted with shamelessly, but drop your number at the bottom and we'll get hold of you afterwards. Don't tell anyone on the broadcast. Okay. Looking fabulous, Terry Baxter. Oh, I'm catching up with 4 million posts here. Work that pout, Lady M. You better know it, honey. And she fucked up her lipstick tonight, but she's pouting anyway. Didn't have time to change it. One, says people. Simon Hobbs. Hello, Martinique. That's Lady Martinique to you. I will not take kindly to be addressed in the first person. She is royalty. I'm 69th in line to the throne. How very dare you call me Martinique. It's Lady Martinique or Lady M. Okay? That's you told. Next. An excess of alcohol in my super sweet teacup. Amazing. Time for tea. Checkers. Now, always remember, must drink your tea iced cold because, of course, there's alcohol in this cup. We don't do tea at a tea party. We do undercover alcohol. So I've got red wine or red bush tea, as we're going to call it. I'm catching up with all your comments, guys. I know you've been sending more comments. Tracy's popping more corks. Tracy had her cork popped so long ago. It is just another whole story. I've been writing some new jokes for you. I'll PM you tomorrow. Really, Jamie Riding? Really? Do you need to write jokes for me? Do you think I'm a comedian or something? I'm a serious lady. I've got no time for jokes. Oh my God, I've just hatched a child again. Okay, sit quietly. It's difficult at Martinique Manor. Got children jumping on my lap. Husbands parading around in the nuddy. I mean, you know, really. Drinking bubbly. Wow, wait. Oh, lots of wine. Brilliant beehive. AJ, brilliant beehive. Comment for you. No. Anita Parfit, always good to have some more comedy. Absolutely. Absolutely. Terry Baxter, hi, honey. Oh, Terry Baxter, that's Tracy Clanons. Now Erasmus. Because she's married that hunk of a Nick who knows how to braai, if you know what I mean. He likes a barbecue, that one. Give him a fire and he's yours. Okay, hi, hun. How do I get in, darling? Well, we shall have to invite you. Where is Fanny? Everybody ready for this? Fanny is on the rise. Fanny is heating up. She is arriving. Please send all to us via me, and I can field the conversation that way. So we're welcoming Fanny Craddock. Hello, Paula Davies. Fabulous to see you. Fabulous to see you. What, Fanny's on the rise? Oh, My guest declined the live video. How rude. How very rude. Let's try that again, shall we? You're supposed to accept, not decline. These youngsters these days. My first visit from Joburg. Hello, Fanny!
There you are. I'm
Hello,
so
baby
sorry.
girl. How are you? Visiting us all the way from the 60s, 70s? Where are you coming from?
Oh, we're coming from about 1975, I think.
75. It was a good year for wine that year. Good year for wine.
Well, speaking of wine, darling, I have got some wine just here, and I thought I might open it now.
Oh, are you going to pop your cork? That was done long ago, darling.
Pop my cork in front of everybody. Lovely to see everybody, darlings.
There's so
How are
many
you all?
people here. So many cherubs are here with us. And
Absolutely.
they're all just chatting about my little ensemble, my Amy Winehouse Buller.
Well, I noticed your hair lately seems to be getting a bit smaller, darling.
Smaller? Well,
yes.
She has to get in through doorways, and she's 6'4" without the heels.
Here we
so
go.
one
I'm going to
must have
put
a
my
height
cork
restriction.
now.
But this was created by Andrew of the House of Martinique. Fabulous new stylist we have in our house. Oh, I'm loving the teacup.
Just
Very
in your
70s
honor,
retro.
darling.
Hello, on point.
Do you remember that cocktail party we were at where we ended up naked in the fountain?
Oh, we can't talk about that.
Oh, I thought...
I love cock and I love tail, but not in the same sentence.
No? Okay, darling.
Apparently it's a bit late.
Till later.
Amy,
after a couple of these. Sorry, darling.
Cross between Bette Lynch and somebody else. She was blonde, Jamie Riding. I'm just reading comments, Fanny. I'm reading comments. People are telling me that I'm Bette Lynch. And I so cannot be Bette Lynch. It's against my religion. So, Fanny, what have you been up to? Have you got any more TV programs coming up or any more episodes?
Well, I thought I might. I thought maybe more cookery programs, because there does seem to be a bit of a... People do seem to want cooking on television. I think Mary Berry has dropped the standard somewhat. Now, I don't know how people feel about that. Since my day, when I was cooking, it all was out of tins, everything was preserved, and things lasted so much longer. Now, with all this fresh food business, people are getting constipation.
And if you took the labels off the tins, it was potluck every night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You could have had anything, you know, anything.
Well,
and, you know, all the artificial preservatives kept people looking younger for so long as well.
Absolutely.
You know?
And all the preservatives.
Yes. Preservatives. Cheers, darlings. Lovely to see you again.
Chuckers, lovely to see you too.
It's been a week since we last saw each other, hasn't it?
It's been a whole week. And, you know, in gay terms, a week is a lifetime.
I know. You know, are you gay then, darling?
I'm not gay. My husband is. So Chris Jagos says Fanny's standards of an alley cat, dear. Chris Jagos, darling, when are Fanny and I going to come and do an evening at your place?
I have actually been up an alley with Chris Jagos before. That was an interesting experience.
Oh, do tell. We all want to hear about this. For those of you that don't know, Chris Jagos is the proprietor, one might say, of a very upper-class establishment in the Dorch of Chester.
Upper class, darling?
Well, after 16 drinks, is there class?
No, I don't think it matters by that stage, does it? Because one's trolleyed. So, you know, you just get on with it, don't you? But it's always a lovely evening to be had there. Yes. Always.
Absolutely.
Yes. We have been together, haven't we, darling?
Well, we did. We went on that very exclusive ladies' night out, and then we took Mark with.
We did. Yes.
And Chris Jagos, we have a public service announcement for you, actually. Somebody fell into your nightclub. Remember, they opened that door and they fell down that step flat on the floor. It was hysterical.
Well, that kind of thing does happen quite a lot. I remember us laughing that night because we were counting the amount of people who fell in, weren't we?
Exactly. Talk about falling for somebody. I mean, really.
And the worse injured they were, the more we laughed.
Us never. Never.
The
Never.
one with the broken leg, we were laughing for about 4 hours, you know.
Absolutely. Chris Jago says that's standard. Obviously, he has high
Yeah.
standards. Good to know.
Yes,
Debbie
it
Brown,
is.
good evening. Jonathan says, Lady M, have you had dinner yet? Or will you be dining after? And what is on the menu? Well, Fanny's going to let me
Hello,
sample
Sammy, darling. As my
her
friend
meal.
Sammy has joined in.
Hello, Sammy. I can't see Sammy on your side. I can only see my side. But
She
Jonathan
sent me a
Fry wants to
message.
know if
I've
we've
had to
dined yet
ignore
or
it
if we're going
because
to
I'm
dine
live.
afterwards. Hello?
Carry on, darling. Sorry, carry on.
No, that's all right. Jonathan Fry says, have we dined yet or are we eating afterwards? And what's for dinner, Fanny?
Tonight?
Yes.
Well, I thought we could probably have, let me have a think about this. What about a mincemeat omelette?
Mincemeat omelette.
Yes.
Right.
You put mincemeat in it,
Mincemeat omelette.
like the stuff you would have in a mince pie,
Right.
into your omelette, and you dust it with sifted icing sugar.
Right. Icing sugar.
And then you eat it. You eat it. It's delicious. It's delicious.
Okay.
Try it, darling.
Is it an
Yes.
entree or a main course?
Main course, but you have to make sure it's almost completely raw in the middle because you don't want a dry omelette, you see. It has to be
one never
wet
wants one's
in the
omelette
middle.
dry. One always wants a moist omelette, I feel.
Absolutely.
So on that score, so with these cooking shows that you're planning on recalibrating, what sort of style of cooking would one be going for these days?
Probably 1930s.
Right.
I think, less is more, and
Right.
the way forward is backward. So, let's go back to the 1940s, the times of rationing even, darling.
Right.
People
Will
would
you be
we
cooking with
wouldn't have things
alcohol as
like this
well?
coronavirus with rationing.
Oh, one can't mention Rona. We're very upset with Rona. She's
Well,
messed the whole thing.
I have in fact had coronavirus. I'm getting much better now.
You've
But,
had it, correct?
oh,
Right.
yes.
That's not the
Twice
60 a day you smoke.
Yes, oh no, that fights it off. It's the cigarettes, you see, darling. Smoke
Good.
20 a day, it'll be fine.
Correct. So with this cooking that you're going to do back to the 1930s, 40s and rationing, does one feel that one will be cooking with alcohol or will prohibition be rife as well?
Of course, alcohol, darling, all the way. You've got to get merry while you're drinking, haven't you? Or do you mean in the food?
In the food?
In the food. Well, yes. I mean, you could pour half a bottle of sherry over the top of your mincemeat omelette if you want to.
That'll keep it
Yeah.
nice and moist.
Yes. Well, Stephen Hardwick, Mavis there, has just said the omelette should be flambéed.
Yes, I can read that now.
Mavis, could you tell us all about flambeing food, please?
Could we also just inquire, does flambeing put our wigs at risk, our hair at risk? Because, one wouldn't want to end up in a plastic mess. Of course, this is my natural hair, but one must inquire for those that wear wigs.
I'm not wearing a wig, darling.
I know. It's your natural
No, my hair's natural.
Collar and cuffs.
All natural, you see, darling. As I'm sure yours is too, isn't it?
Mine is definitely natural. Takes a lot of work to get this hair to look this good, honey.
Absolutely, I can tell. Did you use Brillo pads while you were putting it together?
No, black shoe polish.
Aha, yes.
Because if we're back to the 1940s, as per your request,
we're
going to have to use other methods of colouring up our natural hair.
Yes. What about that stuff that they used to use around fireplaces and things? Black lead. Could we use some of that? Yes.
Oh no, I inhaled too much of that. Gave me a nasty headache. Nasty headache. Steve Gonzalez. Oh, hello, lots of people. Andrew Jones has joined us, that old tart. Terry Baxter says definitely.
Andrew, darling.
Hello, Andrew, darling. Oh, I think Fanny likes you, Andrew.
Yes,
Andrew
I
doesn't
think
like a bit
lovely.
of Fanny, though.
Lovely man.
He doesn't like a bit of Fanny. Moving on.
I've
Hello,
heard.
sexy, says Steve Gonzalez. Young man, I know that you are engaged to be married to the gorgeous Kath. Don't you sit here flirting with me on a Saturday night when you should be with your wife. Okay? I'm not that kind of woman. But call me afterwards and we can organise a little hookup. Love a bit of bottom Fanny. Gorgeous. Isn't it classy, the things people write these days?
That is what I was chuckling at, in fact, you know.
Yes.
And I was wondering who's going on bottom, but, you know.
One doesn't know. One doesn't quite know. Zebo, great polish. Brilliant stuff. What on earth is that? I'm currently touching her nipple, says Steve Gonzalez. So lovely to know the play-by-play of your foreplay, young man. This is a family show. This is a family show.
You've already warned people it's not a family show, darling.
I said it
Can you imagine?
People want to be rude, that's all right. We'll just
if we were to
keep the
pop
home
up
fires
on the
burning.
screen together, we're not going to be clean about things, now are we? Any
Well,
cleaner than when we ended up in...
They've had to put us in different rooms. Because if you and I were together, there'd be lesbian action going on this couch.
As we've discovered.
Yes. There's only that one time, Fanny. I told you never to mention it again.
Well, there was twice. You just don't remember the second time, darling.
Oh, I must have been inebriated. Kim Pope, good evening. Send him to the naughty corner. Oh, yes. Steve Gonzalez, you are our first recipient of the Naughty Corner prize. Off you go, young man. And face the corner. I forgot about the Naughty Corner. Can I get Fanny's moist donut recipe? Oh. Now, apparently you brought out a recipe in the 70s, 80s, which was about Fanny's moist donuts.
Yes.
Would you care to tell us what inspired that?
Well, back in those times, there weren't innuendos. You know, people wouldn't have...
Spanish suppository. An innuendo is a Spanish suppository.
It is, yes, yes. Pop it up and it's all over. But, no, oh, jolly good, darling. Lovely. Hot yourself up, as I call it. Hot up. Have a nice hot up. Cheers, darling. Yes, I mean, Fanny, in the time, you know, back in the sort of 50s and 60s, wasn't terminology for lady gardens. And unfortunately, I seem to have inherited, you know, that connection now with connotations to my name, but I'm okay with it, you know, as you'll remember.
Yes.
And
what a lovely Fanny you have, dear.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. It was all very above board in the 50s, 60s and 70s, but things have changed now. Unfortunately, the general population have dirty minds, and I can't be held responsible for that.
Well, I can't like a dirty mind. I love a hungry bottom, but I don't like a dirty mind.
Do you, darling? Yes, your husband just said something similar.
Lucy Eggleston is trying to get us back on track. Lucy Eggleston, bless her cotton socks. She's trying to get us back on track, and she says that polish stuff was for shining up your fireplace. She also says she's so old that she's actually used it. Who's Sean Vallard? We like him. He's drinking 3 glasses.
Sean is wonderful. You have not met Sean yet. And he has a partner called Jason who's probably watching too. And they are lovely. They're regulars of my show that I do. And they're probably pissed. They're probably pissed, darling, because that's all they do is drink alcohol. Isn't it, Sean, darling?
Rosanna Saltfleet is asking, is anybody going to sing? Rosanna, we know you're a gorgeous singer. You could sing for us, but apparently Facebook doesn't like us to sing live because then they start cancelling our show. So this is a
I've had one of mine
cancelled. A chat show, Rosanna. You could learn a thing or two about lady gardens, about tea parties, about the general consensus of life, love, and lockdown, really, as I put in the bio. So perhaps, Rosanna, what we could do is we could have you to sing on one of our shows in the near future, and then Facebook can shut you down instead of me.
That sounds reasonable.
We are going to be singing live, though, at our shows when we go into a live venue near you, darling. There will be a couple of live shows happening every second month, and that will be phenomenal. But we're going back into like a lockdown situation, aren't we? Six to a table, whatever.
Yes.
So really, the
Yeah.
shows that we plan for the rest of this year are going to have to now be early 2021.
So you are doing live shows, darling, are you?
We will be doing, well, you know, I work for this company called the Tenor Ladies at Large.
Well, you mentioned this, yes. Hello,
Yes.
Susie and April, darlings. Hello.
Hello, April. Tenor Ladies at Large is going to. Andrew Jones, you little shit. Tenor Ladies at Large is a group of three of us, myself, Pepper Spray, and Daisy Donut at this stage, and we're going to be doing bi-monthly shows. Now, that's not bisexual, it's every second month.
When you said bi, I just assumed lots of lady action.
Oh, that's
no?
bicycle. That's bicycle. Yes.
Yeah.
So, every second month, starting in February, we're going to be doing a live cabaret act, and it is going to be live singing, lots of jokes, lots of showmanship, gorgeous setting. Bring your own dinner, buy a ticket for the show, and buy your booze. What a lovely way to have an evening. Bring whatever you feel like eating. If you and your husband want to eat different things, he can bring his
like
food, you bring yours.
A dinner theatre,
like
darling.
Picnic theatre, yes.
You see, we're going back once again to the 1940s and 50s.
Absolutely.
The only way forward is to go back, darling.
One must. Well, we like back. We like the back, yes. So, oh, Linda Higgins, are you on the one, Angie Hunt? Angie Hunt? I know what that's supposed to mean, but I'm wondering who Angie is. I know what Hunt means.
Hello, MJ, darling. MJ is watching. Lots of my friends are watching. How lovely.
Yes.
And Sarah, lovely Sarah. She used to be my kitchen assistant on one of my television shows. Didn't you, Sarah?
I've seen Sarah live on one of your shows.
Yes. I held an omelette over her head. Yeah, so it wouldn't fall off the plate. No, not an omelette, egg white.
Egg white? That's apparently good for all sorts of things. You can do an egg white face mask, can't you?
You can. You can. But,
and if you add sugar, you can have meringue and just lick it right off.
You could. You could. Lie in the sun and you could eat it afterwards.
Doubtfire did that. Mrs. Doubtfire. She gave me that recipe when I met her.
Oh, you met her, did you? When did you meet her, darling?
Well, of course, we worked together.
Oh. I don't think I knew that about you.
Well, you know, I did have a past, dear.
Yeah. I dread to think. I mean, I was part of it, and I can still remember those 2 times vividly, you know, but...
Rahepnol was not my friend that night. So we've got all sorts of people saying hello, 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 Sarah James, Martin.
I must just say, you spiked yourself, didn't you, darling? In the hopes that...
You're giving away far too many secrets now. Far too many secrets. Wayne Lorimer, good evening. Hello, darling, how are you? Wayne Lorimer, 1942. It's just fabulous. So fabulous. Right, Rossano wants to know, where will this be? I want tickets. You and everybody else, Rossano, we are actually currently looking for a venue because it's going to be from February. We were actually planning a Hello Queen show for October and a campus Christmas show for December. But given that we're going back into a lockdown situation, restriction, we don't know whether that's going to be viable. So we're probably safely looking at February of next year. But we're looking at a venue that can host enough people seated far enough apart that it will actually pay for the show. You can't have a show and only have 10 people attend. That'll never pay for the cost. You know, I need a dressing room. I need a green room. I need champagne at the ready. I need Red Bush tea. All my favorite teacups. People can become tealings. Kat, you're correct. Kat is lovely at keeping me on track.
Darling, I think you're getting a little diva-ish in your old age.
Well, I am a lady, darling. I am 69th in line to the throne, don't you know?
Well, yes.
One must have prerogatives and priorities and things. I can't believe I saw your rider for this evening, Fanny. when we booked you for this evening, when my production crew and team booked you for this evening, your rider was atrocious.
Well,
14
you know.
nubile men sat at the ready in case you need them. How very dare you? And Botox? What's that? Cow poison.
Wonderful. How do you think I stay so young looking?
Formaldehyde.
Well, yes, probably, but Botox definitely. You know, I mean, clearly this isn't the face of a 127-year-old.
Oh, well, you're so well preserved. You must give me the recipe. So, Rosanna, the tickets will be available. We will let everybody know, but become a tealing. We've opened a group called House of Tea, and because we are the tenor ladies at large, House of Tea, and you can become a tealing. So Michelle Arrowsmith says, Callum can't believe this is his auntie Martinique. Yes, Callum, darling, it's me, deep down somewhere underneath all this slap. 4 tons of concrete took 2 hours to put on and about 10 seconds to come off. Just like Fanny's underwear.
Story of your life, darling, isn't it?
Rob says he will ride Fanny. Now, Fanny, I've got a red-headed friend with freckles, a ginger. His wife could do with a break, so apparently he said he would happily ride you. I'm not sure how he would ride you, but he wants to ride you. So I shall give Rob your contact details, shall I?
Who,
Lovely.
me?
Yes, you, Fanny. Rob says
Oh,
he
me?
wants to
I'm
ride
sorry.
Fanny.
I'm miles away. I'm miles away. I was just enjoying my tea.
I'm busy
I didn't realise
propositioning
somebody
you, dear. I'm
wanted
getting you
to
bookings.
ride me.
I'm getting you bookings.
Oh, lovely. Perfect.
I'm on the
Thank you,
brandy, says
darling.
Linda Higgins. That's lovely, Linda Higgins. But the rule, Linda, is if you're joining us for our evening, you have to drink it out of a teacup. No matter the beverage, one has to drink out of a teacup. I have red wine coming out of a teacup.
Yeah.
I'm on the brandy. Pippa says she's writing her rider like a 70s child wish list from an Argos catalogue. Oh dear. See what you've started, Fanny. You sent in your rider, and now all my guests are going to expect to have riders in green rooms and things. Just because I'm entitled doesn't mean all of you are.
I don't know, darling. I think they are. Everybody's entitled to one good ride, aren't they? My Johnny's wonderful. Did I tell you about the time that... No, I can't discuss that. No. I remembered that was one I mentioned on my own show, and I had quite a few raised eyebrows the next day.
Oh.
So I shan't mention it, no.
Perhaps not. I did warn people that Fanny is her own person and she might go off on a tangent. But one would hope
What do you mean, darling?
As Ladies M's wig stylist, do I get one? Get one what? I wonder. A ride on Fanny, I assume? I'm not sure. We'll have to ask him. Hello, ladies. Hello, Adrian Pope. How are you, darling? I'm just on the way home from the pub. Bugger. I now have to find a teacup. Darling, one should always have a teacup at the ready. Oh, no, we don't want to have bare shoulders. Let's do that. Anita, I'm very upset that you went to the pub without me. Would either of you ever be tempted to do an adult centerfold spread? If so,
I have already, darling.
Where would you make him put the staples is the question.
Oh, okay. Well, one on each nipple if it's sideways. Because nipples are very much frowned upon in America.
One has to block them out with tape.
They do. Yes. They do. And my nipples are down here anyway. So you could cover up all 3 things with 2 staples. It'd be wonderful.
Oh, your nipple and your vajayjay?
They're the same height, same level.
Oh, because your nipples have... Okay, right. Gravity.
Right, darling. Yeah.
Gravity.
Look, see, you think they're boobs. They're not. My boobs are down there.
Your boobs are down there?
Yeah.
I have forklifts to lift mine, dear. Mine have been forklifted into place. I had scaffolding up to get the face on. I mean, you know, really, these days, one has to have a whole crew of men to service one's needs.
Yes, well, that might be you, darling. I just have my Johnny.
Oh. Oh. Cough another one up, love. Cough up a lung, love. Oh, that's attractive. So
lovely, isn't it? It's all the
Cat.
fags. I need a fag. That's what it is.
Cat. I
Fag.
know that Fanny appeared in a spread, a centerfold spread, with her staples, and similar to that calendar that was done by those ladies, Fanny also had some strategically placed yeast near her vajayjay and 2 buns at her breastises.
Yeah.
The yeast was for the obvious infection, and
Yeah.
she appeared in Baker's Weekly. Baker's Weekly. There was a byline, something about Fanny and her baps, as I recall. Rian
Yeah.
Gilbert. Hello, Rian. How are you, darling, my little Welsh friend? Oh, my lipstick has travelled all over the place. Hey, what's with one good ride? May be good enough for you, but not me, honey. Oh, she's asking about you, Fanny, because you said one should have at least one good ride in one's life. She's saying we need more than one good ride, not just one.
Okay, well, I can't see that. I think it must be because we're not friends on here. I'm just scrolling. No. But I agree. I quite agree. You need more than one good, ride
right.
in your life, don't you?
Well, also, we've got Rossano Saltfleet saying, give us your tangent, Fanny. What he means is he'd like to hear the story about your Johnny and what he got up to.
Well, it involved black lead, actually, and it was Christmas time.
Right.
And
paint us a picture.
Really
it was Christmas. What year?
I really can't. I couldn't go into it again, darling. But the village made Newton. It's over there. Let's just say that the residents are somewhat narrow-minded, and seeing Johnny being driven down the main high street naked with a black nose with black lead to look like a reindeer with 2 sticks, and me whipping him. Apparently that wasn't acceptable. And I don't know why not, but I thought it was funny. I thought it was a terrible giggle. But
wasn't he part of the Christmas pantomime?
Well, no, we were just doing it for fun, We'd had a couple of whiskies, and we just thought, well, let's go and lift the spirits of the locals and Maiden Newton. They didn't like it.
Maybe because they couldn't afford the spirits, dear. Spirits are expensive.
They are.
Hello, Melody Borden, you old tart. Hello, babe. How are you? Karen Jarman. I'm still watching with my wine and baking. Oh, dear. Guava Barbie. Now, my friend Karen Jarman, we can't tell you why, but her byline is Guava Barbie. Basically, she likes to air her patty to all in public who would like to see it. So, her name is Guava Barbie. And now she's saying she's baking. God forbid she's baking. Oh dear, Fanny's on a roll. You almost stroked yourself to death there, Fanny. You were like... Haven't got a teacup is a mug, okay. Well, if you're uncouth, Linda Higgins, that's all right. We're going to have to buy a teacup for next time, though. Put it on
next
your
time, darling. We expect you to buy a teacup. That's assuming I'll ever be allowed back on this show again, because I have lowered the tone somewhat, and I do apologise. People who watch my own show live know what to expect. It's all innuendo. And one of the things I love the best is when people enter the room and look at my Fanny. It makes me feel good. And it makes me feel appreciated in life.
Oh, I've got pictures coming in now. Pictures are coming in of people's teacups. Please keep them tidy, people. I only want to see your teacups, not your appendages. I'm a married lady. Right. Where are we going now? We have now got... Lucy Eggleston says, I can't understand why Maiden Newton thought it unacceptable. We do that sort of thing in Shillingston all the time. She's from Shillingston.
Maiden Newton, you'd think, would be a broad-minded place, wouldn't you? Really not, darlings. Really not. Never go there.
Okay. Also, we now have Michelle Arrowsmith, who is a very good friend of mine, who's about to have her friendship fees revoked for passing on horrid messages. But her husband, Rob, says, Fanny, you're choking more than Martinique on her honeymoon.
It's because I needed a fag, darling. I'm having to vape because I can't go out for a fag. I'm on a 40-day habit here, you know.
40-day habit?
Oh,
You
yeah.
go back to the nunnery and put on that habit, honey. It'll be cheaper.
It would go up in
Says she
flames
loves us.
if I
She's busy
put it on,
baking
darling.
quiches.
It would be flambéed.
Flambéed. Now, Karen, my friend Guava Bobby that I explained to you about, who likes to air her patty, she's busy making quiches. Any tips for her on quiches?
Yes, yes. Just make sure you whisk up your milk appropriately, and you do want a good firm base. So make it off first before you put your filling in, darling. That way it'll be nice and firm on the base. Nobody wants a soggy bottom, do they?
Nobody wants a soggy bottom.
No.
Ain't that the truth, Fanny? Guava Bobby,
Yeah.
I hope you're taking all these tips and tricks from us. We will want to see evidence of these quiches as they are being baked by you.
Yes, please, darling.
Why am I wearing hair again? Right. I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel like a dyslexic spider has crawled across my face. There we go.
No, it's your hair, darling.
Oh, it's these stray hairs, darling. Look at me, I'm flawless. Apart from the messed up lipstick, I'm flawless.
Why is your lipstick messed up, darling? Did your husband have a grope?
He did. He tried to snog me just before I went live. Making
yes, I remember when I was at that party and he tried to snog me too. My lipstick was ruined as well, darling.
Oh, did Johnny do that? Was that Johnny's fault?
No, your husband.
Oh, my husband snogged me too. He gets around.
He does, yes. It was, yes. Ruined my lipstick, but I did have to hit him with my handbag.
I told him there's nothing like nibbling on a little bit of Fanny once in a while.
Absolutely. Well, yes, once again, we're back to the fountain issue, aren't we, after that cocktail party? Yes.
Anita sent us a picture of her vodka teacup. I'm going to look at that afterwards. We all need a fag, honey, she says. Karen,
hello, Mary, darling.
Oh, Guava Bobby's come back, said, I was told I have to watch you, otherwise I will go to the corner. Oh, by the way, you never didn't do roll call. I'm still here. Okay. Roll call, everybody needs to be here, and we want to see your cups, girls. All your cups. And I don't mean your D cup, your F cup. I've got H cup. We don't mean that. I can't see my breasts today. It's a problem. Hold on. There we go. I've got an H cup.
Darling. They really have started to droop, haven't they?
Yes, gravity is a bitch. You old tart.
Well, mine are down here. You know, it's just easier to put them under your belt, I find. Keep them down and out of the way.
Well,
when you're
tied mine
cooking,
up
you
behind
don't
my
want
hair,
tip ending up in your cake mix, do you really?
Exactly.
So,
you know, back in the 70s, you would know this. If one wanted to create height in one's hair, you put a bump inside it. It was called a bump.
Yeah.
It was a little dome-like thing, and you could scoop your hair around it. Well, my breasts are actually tied behind my back and up on top of my head. I'm keeping abreast of the situation.
Well, I might have to start doing this too. I could hoik mine under my arms, whip them up around my neck, and get an extra bit of height here. Not that I really need it, do I, darling?
No, not at all.
You know.
Rosanna says, Rob wants to know from Fanny, how big is too big?
You know, the sky is the limit. There's never such thing as too big, is there, darling?
Is that even a question? I don't understand. What's he talking about?
It's not a question, is it? It's a statement.
We've been told to stop gagging on our hair. All about the bass, says Guava Barbie. She says it's all about the bass, not about the bass. No treble. Oh, Facebook's going to cancel me for singing. Fanny, I can only wish. Oh, says Andrew Jones. Not sure what he's wishing for. Maybe he's wishing for you.
Well, he's talking about the snog at the party that happened.
Oh, I thought we weren't going to mention that.
Well, you know, we've already, because my lipstick was up here by the time he'd finished with me. Because I fought him off after about 10 minutes. You know.
I gave him 10 minutes and then fought him off. Right. That appropriate.
Of course. Well, you can't lose your honour, can you, darling?
Well, one's virtue is virtually indestructible, dear. One's virtue, darling. Don't do fake. Already sent my cup. Cool, thank you. I want to see cups. Lucy Eggleston sent us her cup. I hope you've sent them to, you can either send them to me in Messenger, ladies and gents, or you can send us pictures of you with your cup to our page. Wouldn't it be lovely to have a whole array of faces to put names to?
Yes. Or
That,
teacup. Pictures of their teacups.
yes.
Held
I
up
have
like this,
cups,
you know.
says Anita. Well, Anita, I know that they're very fashionable again. You can purchase them again. Very, very fashionable. I'm being told to close my legs, but I've just told my husband you can only see me from my boobs up. You can't see anything below my boobs.
You can't,
And it's way too
darling.
hot in
We
here.
can only
I'm
just
having a
see
power
the top
surge.
of your heaving bosom. Just there. Yes. With your pearl
Exactly.
necklace on. I'm glad you're wearing a pearl necklace. It fits your character.
Yes. I was going to say, I'm having a power surge, Fanny. How does one deal when one enters that time of life and needs to address power surges? I don't call it the other thing, because men on pause is always what's happening. Men are always on pause.
Yeah.
So a
Well,
power surge, how would one deal with that?
well, hormone replacement therapy, I think, darling.
Right.
I've been on it. I've been on it for the last few months, I suppose. And I don't know if you remember last week when I popped on, I in fact had a beard going on.
Yes, I do recall that. We
Yeah.
were going to send
And
you
that
over a nubile young man to chew it off for you.
it got stuck in my teeth, you know. But, but, you know, hormone replacement therapy will protect you from power surges or give them to you. Either way.
Right. Well, that's
No?
good to know. Lucy says
Yeah.
gravity is a blighter, but it saves time if you tuck him in your PJ bottoms. She's talking about the breastises, the twins. If you pop them into your PJ bottoms, then you won't step on them.
Mine always are, darling. Sometimes I tie them round the back to keep them out the way.
Oh, okay. I thought
I
one might
do.
need access. Anyway,
Flip them
while the
up over
Bobby
my
says that
shoulder.
her quiches are in the oven, we have to wait and see. Maybe she should send us a photo of her quiche and her teacup when her quiche is done. And we'll have to test it for soggy bottom, won't we?
Yes, you don't want soggy bottom, darling. Never. Never an excuse for that, is there? No.
Well, Ross says that wasn't singing, cheeky bitch. You know, all these professional singers. I mean, just because I wouldn't snog him behind the opera house, now he's coming on and saying that that little moment of me singing 5 seconds ago was not actual singing. I dare him to prove me wrong. Okay, Ross? Put your money where your mouth is. Sit there behind your screen trying to tempt me behind the opera house. Okay? I know you listen. I'm married. Okay? Cheeky.
Golly gosh.
Janet Johnson is here. Hello, darling. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Kat Jarrett says, have a weekly competition. Teacup of the week. Look at her. Kat Jarrett is actually one of my management staff. She runs my estate, because you know I live in Martinique Manor. She runs my estate. She looks after all the day-to-day administrative things and keeps me on track, really, because, you know, I'm a creative soul. I just keep going and going and going like an ever-ready bunny.
Sorry, darling. Were you saying something? Yes, of course. Your estate. Your estate. Sorry, we were talking about your estate, weren't we?
You will become persona non grata very quickly, young lady. Notice young. So Michelle Arrowsmith says, we're really enjoying spending our Saturday night with you. We miss you. Well, if you miss me, honey, you have a car. Get into the ficking car and come and see us. But actually, in fairness to Michelle, she's under quarantine. She's due to go for a little bit of a nip and a tuck here. We don't really want to talk about it, but she has to stay indoors. She's not actually allowed to leave her property because she's due for a hospital op.
Very sensible, darling.
So what better
Keep
to do than
yourself
to sit
fed.
here and smile at me all weekend long? But Michelle, when you have recovered, you know where our house is. Come see us. Oh, sorry, where the manor is. Come and visit. You'll have to leave your name at the gate, and you'll have to announce that you're here. But you know, you've been through our security checks before, Michelle, and please tell Rob not to try and smuggle a Brookwurst in his pants again. It wasn't pleasant the last time, and it won't be pleasant this time. I'm sat in front of Lady M. Sharon Stone, cheeky bitch. Naughty pearl necklace. Oh, Anita, you should know about things like that. You're an innocent young lady.
I'm
right
sure
along.
that this isn't the first pearl necklace she's had in her lifetime, darling.
Right, Lisi says it's worse if the dogs stand on them. I have toenails, you know. She's still talking about her breasts that she tucks into her pajamas. I mean, will this woman ever cease about her breasts? Clearly they are a hot topic of conversation. Have some more tea, Luce. Have some more tea. Michelle Arrowsmith tells us that her quiche is a little eggy. What do we do if the quiche is eggy?
Put less eggs in, darling.
Good
you can
point.
over-egg the quiche. So, or you know, people don't realise this, that with a typical quiche Lorraine, as opposed to quiche Margaret or quiche Anne or quiche Bernadette, you just put one egg in and half a pint of milk, one egg, half pint of milk, and some cream, double cream. That's all you need for a good set in your quiche, darling. And it's extra creamy and delicious. Delicious. Don't over-egg your quiche.
That's interesting. Very interesting.
There we are.
I shall tell my cook. I have a cook, I have a chef, I have a butler, you know, the staff. I shall tell them. Yes. Now we've got more questions coming through. That would help with her. That would help with her pitching up. Are you smoking? What do you dunk your tea in your teacup? That's a slippery slope, Paula Davies. Slippery slope. How is your sexy husband?
Paula, darling, fancy lowering the tone of this
real brute.
darling.
Her husband keeps flirting shamelessly with my husband.
Well,
bloody heterosexuals, you know, you can't take them anywhere, dear. Paula, what I dunk in my tea most is cheese. I like cheese and biscuits with my tea, especially if it's red wine. Cheese and wine go well together. The wine must be chilled and served in an appropriate hand-painted teacup. One can't possibly be uncouth and not have tea.
Glass, darling.
The cup is imperative.
Mine's glass. 70s green glass.
Absolutely. Well, it's in keeping. It's in keeping with your whole ethos. But thank you for your question, Paula Davies. And do tell that husband of yours we miss him too.
Is he good looking?
He's gorgeous. He's a big, brute, heterosexual male. But he's good for a laugh. He's good for a laugh, Fanny. You know what I say? If they're good for a laugh, they're good for a laugh.
Yeah. We do love a heterosexual man with a good sense of humour, don't we?
Yes. And I think that happens when they are very secure with their sexuality and they don't mind having a laugh.
Absolutely, darling.
So good on you, darling, Paula's husband. Rich, good on you, Richard. We shall see you soon. Anita says Dicky cookies. I think she's talking about penis cookies. One doesn't make penis cookies, not in this household. Fanny might have a mold for penis cookies, but I don't. Darling. I don't know where the manor is, as I've never been invited. Well, Anita, you were on that list once, and you know, after your behaviour at the pub, I've been informed that maybe we should just check you out first. We're actually having you, what do you call it, when you're having people... vetoed. That's the right word, but the wrong way. Vetoed. We're having you checked out, Anita. We're checking your credentials. We can't just invite anybody to the manor. You know, otherwise we'd have tour parties and tour buses arriving, and one can't have that.
Darling.
So funny. You were writing your memoir,
you'd have any old riffraff around, wouldn't you?
Well, one can't have riffraff from the trailer park around. Fanny, your memoirs that you were writing, How are those coming on?
Slowly, darling. You know, I'm not very motivated. You see, I am in fact a cook at heart. So when writing things like memoirs, most of it's in French anyway, because I originated from there, even though I was
Oh,
born in Sussex. And, I find it difficult to put pen to paper these days when I really just want to be making a new quiche, you know, or making Johnny ride down Maiden Newton High Street naked, you know.
right. Well, my other question was, are you going to be including recipes in this book of memoirs? Maybe some photographs? Or will it just be
Potentially
a
that could
reading
make it
novel?
more exciting, couldn't it? Photos, I could put my centerfold photo in with the staples. And I've got ones of me. Barbara Cartland and I used to be very good friends until she died. We were friends for a while after she died as well. But,
Okay,
so, you know, pictures of her and I together cooking, you
right.
know,
I
and in
always think
fountains and
strategically
showers.
placed staples are imperative. One must have the staples through the centerfold, and then one knows when one's halfway through the book. It has multiple uses.
They do, darling, And with my memoirs, they're not going to be very exciting. Did you know I've had 4 husbands before I met Johnny?
Really?
Yes,
Oh,
yes. And I married 2 of them bigamously.
bigamously.
Yes. I was already married to the last one when I married the next.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah, yes. And
Isn't
I
that now called
escaped
a
the
thruple?
country.
So
I
you were
got
in a
out of the
thruple.
country. Sorry, darling?
You were in a thruple.
A thruple, yes, exactly, darling. But apparently it's illegal. I didn't know that. So I was quite happily marrying different men all at the same time and, racking up these huge tax bills. So eventually I had to leave the country to get away from my tax debt. So
Right.
once that was written off, and a couple of husbands had died, and I think another one of them, I can't remember what happened to him. I think he fell went ice fishing and fell under the ice, I think.
Yeah.
Something happened to him. They all seem to die, the other husbands, they all seem to
Under
die.
mysterious circumstances?
Yes,
Hmm.
always, always. I was never in the country at the time, so it can't have been anything to do with me.
Absolutely not. When one says taxes, what is one talking about? Because, being a royal, we don't pay taxes.
Here we go again. Yeah. I mean, I am a countess. Did you know
Right.
that? Yes.
Well,
My first husband, who died 48 hours after I married him in a plane crash, he
right.
was a count. So I retained the countess title, and if I wish, I could be called Countess Fanny Craddock.
Oh, it's a mouthful. It's a mouthful, dear.
Isn't it? And that's what my first husband said. So anyway, so I got away from all the tax debt that I had. All I did was went to Ireland for a week. When I got back, it had all
Right.
been written off. It was lovely. I just changed my name by deed poll. Very easy. It's just anyone does that, darling.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Yes.
So we've been joined by people again. I don't know where they went, but they've come back. How rude to leave. Anita says she's magnetic. She's found a set of magnetic eyelashes. Now, these are my own, obviously. Obviously. But she claims she's found magnetic ones which work really, really well. She says, I love Barbara. Her eyelashes were simply the best. I think she's referring to Barbara Cartland. Would
She
you like to
is,
comment on
yes.
her eyelashes?
I used to apply them for her, Anita. And
Oh,
she didn't have magnetic ones. We just used fish glue to stick. All you had in those days was fish glue. It was
I
made
thought
out
it
of
was
fish.
mayonnaise.
Well, we used to put that on on her cheekbones because she was
Right,
getting a bit decrepit by
for
this point. We
highlight.
needed all the moisturizing we could do.
I
So we
see.
used to glue on her eyelashes and we used to put a couple of bits of sticking plaster here. to lift up her entire face to prevent it from dragging along the floor. You know, and she looked
I was
all
just
beautiful by the
demonstrating.
time. Yes, absolutely. I can see. Well, that's how she looked, wasn't it? You know.
Yeah.
So, and that's how we achieved it: fish glue and elastoplast
Okay.
and
Interesting.
mayonnaise.
And mayonnaise. One
Yes.
husband's more than enough, I think, says Paula Davies. Ain't that the truth, honey? Amen. Amen. But do send Richard our love regardless.
Or
um,
several men.
David Parkinson is watching us. How is that possible? I'm not sure.
He's
Anita
down in
Parker.
the kitchen, darling.
He what?
He's down in the kitchen, darling. He's
Oh, I
eating a quiche.
see. Is he rustling up some grub?
No, he's eating it.
Oh, I see.
Eating a quiche. Yes.
Cool. We all need a bit of fish glue, says Anita. These days, what can one use the fish glue for, Fanny? What are your top tips for fish glue
Well,
usage in 2020?
yes, in 2020, as we've said earlier in the show, I think bringing the past back is the way
Right.
forward. And fish glue is one of those things. You heat it up in a little pot. So you'd buy it in a tin, and it's solid. It's like lard, I suppose.
Right.
And you boil it. Well, you don't boil it, but you heat it in a pan of water. Just bring it up to blood temperature. Oh, Sean Ballard says Countess Fanny.
Oh,
I think he means countess, and that's a misspelling, isn't it, Sean, darling? Um,
one would hope so.
yes, I'm sure it is a misspelling there. And it's a little alarming, isn't it, to see that right in front of you? Anyway, so you heat up your fish glue, and
Yes.
then you just wait for it to melt, and then you use a little brush, and you can paint it on your eyelashes and glue them on, or you can, I don't know, stick chandeliers that may have fallen back together again. Any
Right.
number of different things,
So
darling.
many applications.
Yes, many, you know, and you could even create some kind of second skin with it. So I sustained a fall last week, as you know,
Yes,
and I
yes, yes.
injured my elbow quite badly. So do you know
Yes.
what I did?
What?
I painted it with fish glue.
Oh, is that what I can smell?
Yes. But there's not anything else, darling.
Just checking. Just checking. Sean says yes, deleted. Oh, he must have misspelt it. Couldn't possibly
He
have meant the
hasn't deleted it. I can still see the word countess spelt wrongly in front of me there.
other. Such classy friends one has. Anywho, Melissa Reeve is here, my sister from another mister. Hi, Melissa. I want to see your teacups, people, and it's not a euphemism. We'd like to see your teacups. Please send us photos.
I've
If
been
you're going to
admiring yours, darling. I love the black ones. Have they got like a fern on the front, have they?
They have. And it's a black cup with a white inner, and then the
Well, I
saucer
know.
is white.
So it's
It's
black with a white rim.
yes,
Yes.
with a gold rim.
Oh, gold rim. You can't go
Gold
wrong
rim,
with a bit of
white
a gold
interior.
rim, can you? No. Yes. How lovely.
And a white saucer. It's Royal
Lovely.
Albert Home China. It's
Hello,
called Night
Melissa,
and Day.
darling. It's lovely.
Night
Lovely.
and Day. Oh, my
Beautiful.
nose is snatched. Thank you, darling. One does try.
What does that mean, Anita?
It means it's minimized. It doesn't look
Oh,
as big.
fortunately, I don't need to worry about that.
Cheeky bitch. Cheeky bitch.
I've only got a tiny nose.
No comment. Hi to both, says Melissa. Hi to both. So who else has got some questions for us? Fanny Craddock is only here for this evening. She might make a return journey before Christmas, but tonight is your night to ask her any of your cooking, baking, and cosmetic tips. Now, she doesn't know much about cosmetics because that is her natural face. She doesn't
I
use
don't wear
makeup.
makeup, darling.
She doesn't use
I don't
makeup.
wear makeup.
Exactly.
No.
How do we send a photo? Karen, you just send it to my messenger and then I will share it to my page. Definitely a cheeky biatch. Go girls, says Tracy Erasmus. Hi, Tracy Erasmus again. Are you still
Tracy,
drinking? Are you
darling,
still drinking,
thank you.
Tracy? We need
She
to know,
says we
Trace.
both rock. Isn't that lovely? What does that
Yes.
mean? Is that a modern terminology?
I think it's young speak for we're fabulous.
Ah, that's lovely. Thank you, darling.
Or she could be asking you for a rock cake recipe.
Oh, yes. Well, did you know cinnamon and nutmeg are vital to a good rock cake?
Really?
Yes. Yes.
Tracy, who are you asking this question to, myself or to Fanny Craddock? Tracy wants to know, what hair products do you use? Fanny?
To me, I don't wear any hair products, darling.
This is
all natural.
Yeah.
It's completely natural. Maybe white. I just smear up over here just to stop it falling in my eyes. But, otherwise, this is completely natural, darling. I'm not wearing any makeup or hair products tonight, as I'm sure you're not either, Lady Martinique,
I'm not. I've just had my hair, my natural hair, mind, all been scooped up into a bouffant by my fabulous stylist, AJ from the House of Martinique. I might have mentioned him once or twice.
Yeah.
He quickly put this look together for me. I think we used,
Brillo pads.
Well, not Brillo pads as such, darling. We used one or two hair rollers to create something, and a lot of back combing. Of back combing.
And what is
spider webs went
back
in there for a bit of
combing?
stickiness, just to get it,
Could you
to the
tell me
right
what
texture.
back combing is, darling? I don't know what back combing is.
No, you couldn't possibly know what back combing was, especially with your subtle bouffant. Love your hair, both of you. Fabulous and gorgeous ladies. Do you stuff birds? Linda Higgins wants to ask you.
Who, me?
Well, I don't stuff birds.
I do. Now, has she seen my Christmas bird program on the television that I did? 1975, in fact. And, what I did was I got my fist right up inside. Underneath, right up. I shoved it right up. And under there, you moisten it up with a bit of butter to kind of, get it in there like that. And then you shove in mushrooms all the way in, lots of mushrooms, and they make it bulge, but it makes it lovely and juicy.
And moist.
And moist, yes, moist and juicy. If you have a dry bird, like a turkey, you're going to want extra juice. And those mushrooms will provide it, darling. They will provide it.
No one likes a dry bird.
Yeah, yeah. Slip them in.
Nobody likes a big bulging bird, says AJ.
So, speak for yourself, darling.
I've heard about a cockatoo. That didn't land very well, did it? Oh dear.
I didn't hear you. What did you say, darling?
I know, let me repeat it and fail twice.
Yeah.
I said, I've heard about a cockatoo.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Who do you style yourself on? Well, at the moment, apparently I'm Bet Lynch, said someone, Paula. I don't feel so. I've gone Africa inspired. I've got some python print up above, and I'm wearing a bit of leopard and cheetah down below over my shoulders to protect my modesty, and some lovely hand beaten earrings from deepest Africa, and one must have a pearl necklace to set things off.
Here we are again. Always Fanny, on about your pearl necklaces, aren't you, darling?
Fanny, who do you style yourself on, darling?
Myself. I've been around so long that I can style myself on myself, and that's what I do.
Isn't that fantastic, though?
It's good.
To be able to style oneself on oneself.
I'm so famous, I can in fact style myself on myself. But you know, like as in if you photocopied something 100 times, it would lose definition. My hair gets bigger.
I see.
So that is the outcome of me styling myself on myself.
I see. That's lovely. Anita says, what did we think of the Canadian winner of Canadian Drag Race? Now, I'm an avid Drag Race fan. I loved the winner. Really, really pleased with the winner. It is controversial, but I don't care. You asked the question, and that's my answer. Love, 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 love. Does one watch Drag Race, Fanny?
I have done in the past, yes. I haven't caught up with the most recent series, but I
Right.
do enjoy it, I have to say. Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, Next up, we have Kat saying, would Fanny ever write a book on kitchen to bedroom tips, for example, for
Of
going
course,
from
darling.
cooking?
The
There's an example here.
two intermingle in my experience.
Well,
Quite often while I'm cooking, Johnny will throw me on the kitchen table and all sorts of things happen that can't be spoken about on live broadcast. That, you know, the two intermingle. The kitchen table is like a bed, and the bed can be like a kitchen table, should you take food to bed. So, you know, they intermingle. So, yes, I will write memoirs about
well,
that when I get round to it.
well, her comment moves on. It says, if I read all of it, it says, would Fanny ever write a book on kitchen to bedroom tips, for example, from going from cooking straight to the bedroom after dinner? What double up kitchen items does she recommend? Well, you were talking about using mayonnaise as a lubricant, weren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
What other
One of the
double up
best.
items might one use?
Well, an egg whisk. You can use
Egg
egg
whisk?
whisk for any number of purposes in the bedroom. You know, it's lovely. I suggest you try it, Lady Martinique.
Well, I
Have you
might
not
just do
ever?
that. We have a question for you from AJ. He wants to know if Johnny played with your doughy baps.
No, he plays with the hard baps.
Oh,
When they're
okay.
done, when they're cooked, he will play with them then. But when they're
Right.
doughy, I don't want anyone's hands on my baps, thank you very much.
Oh,
Not while the yeast is rising them.
apparently we used the M word. What's the M word? Oh, Karen Jarman, straight to the corner with you. You're in trouble.
What is the M word?
She used a word that shall not be spoken. I am Lady Martinique. I don't know who this Martin is she speaks of. So she is being sent to the corner for a timeout.
Oh, that M word. No. And if anyone would call me by any other name other than Fanny, I would also send them into a corner and spank
Absolutely.
them.
How very dare she hijack my conversation? Oh, you're in the corner for a timeout, Guava Barbie. Lucy Eggleston says, I commented on the turkey slapping footage earlier. Oh, we didn't see that. Turkey slapping? Turkey stuffing, dear, not slapping.
Get
Although a
your
good
hand
slap goes a
right
long
up
way,
there.
dear.
Shove in a well lubricated hand. Right in.
Good. If she wants to share her comment again, she can. Karen Jarman says, very moist. Oh dear. Very moist. That's lovely. You're still in the corner. You're in trouble.
Anita says moist as well. This seems to
Oh.
be, you know, a popular word these days, moist.
Does Fanny use a turkey baster? Is the next question for you.
No, 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 you shouldn't need to, darling. If you've lubricated your bird well enough, you won't
Yes.
need to. Turkey basters have one purpose, and that's for lesbians. You know, we don't who want children. We don't
Or,
we
or
don't use
expectant gay couples with a surrogate, I feel.
yeah. It's definitely not for basting turkeys, darling. No. They've got
Oh.
far better uses.
Lucy says she would be thrilled if she had a pearl necklace. If only she knew. Classier than Bet Lynch. Thank you, my darling. Classier than Bet Lynch. A quinafin, says Anita Parfitt. A quinafin is a queen in Afrikaans. which is my
I
native
think
language. As you know, I'm from
Anita is
Africa.
telling us to stop. What are you telling us to stop about, Anita?
I don't know. Sounds raunchy, love it. Never used mustard mayo. Oh, ever used mustard mayo? No, Fanny wouldn't know about mustard mayo. She's in the 70s. Hello.
Oh no, we had mustard and mayo, just not together, darling.
Yes. Oh, she's heaving. Watch out. Oh, okay. Sorry, says Karen. Karen's off to the corner. Reese says OOP. What's that? What's OOP? I'm not in with the cool kids, Reese. Tell me what OOP is. Fagulash. Fagulash, says Karen Jarman. She's trying to get back into our good books. Not having it, you're still in a timeout. Reese is laughing. Nicole has vag gel. Oh,
Ooh, darling.
we don't want to know about
Is that like gravy? Is that kind of a modern day
Similar to
terminology
gravy.
for gravy?
Similar to gravy, but I don't think it's edible, dear.
Oh, really?
You
Yeah.
could use egg whites, though, for the edible version.
Yeah. Or mayonnaise.
Or mayonnaise. Lucy says, of course she knows what a pearl necklace is. Darling, I'm trying to protect your virtue here. Your virtue. On live, televised, international television.
Yeah.
Did you know, Fanny, that I'm world famous in Bournemouth? World
Yes.
famous in Bournemouth.
Well, I wouldn't have thought it was only Bournemouth you'd be world famous in, darling. With your reputation, it precedes you everywhere.
What?
It does. Before I got to that party 35 years ago that we first met at, the cocktail party,
I'm only 28. How did I go to a party 35
well,
years ago?
so am I, darling. I'm only 28 as well, 128. That we don't mention the 100. And when we were at that party, held by, now what's his name? I can't remember his name. He was James Bond once.
Ooh! Who's the guy I like? Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. How could I forget? So it was over in Monaco, wasn't it, darling?
Yes, it was. I recall.
At that villa with the fountain outside. And yes, I can't remember where I was going with that. I got caught up with the Sean Connery bit.
Well, one does. I got a bit misty-eyed and lost there too, dear.
Yes.
Sean Connery. Fun times.
Yes, exactly. Yes. It was.
Did you ever get that stain out of your frock?
It was. Sorry, darling.
Did you ever get that stain out of your frock?
Well, you were there when it was put there, darling. So you...
I know. Anita says, oh, I don't know what I've done. Oh dear, what have I done? Gosh. I'm not good with technology now. I don't know what I've done. Oh, there we go. Lots of people are jumping in now. I've lost the plot. Anita says the moist word, honey, it's just gross. We have better words. I know,
wet.
Anita.
Wet,
I have several
darling.
people who
Wet.
don't like that word, and I love that word. But I shall refrain. Otherwise, I'll be in the naughty corner, Anita. Reese says it means if there's drama, you could say OOP, like, oop, oop, oop. I don't know if I could do that all night long. Can you imagine me with trouble brewing going, oop? Like that night you hiccuped all night long. You.
Well, sorry, what was that, darling?
Nothing, dear. You glazed over again like one of your
No,
donuts.
I was just busy hotting myself up. I was thinking about the alcohol, not you for once. What were you saying, darling?
I was saying, young Reese has explained to us that OOP is what you use when there's drama brewing. You go, whoop.
Ah.
And so I thought I couldn't spend the entire evening with all the drama we create going, whoop, 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 whoop. I'd look like the night you hiccuped all night long.
Yes. Yes.
That gentleman was quite pleased with the result, though.
Yes. I mean, I think it's rather good. You know, there would be situations that could come in handy, I would think.
Yes, quite. Karen Jarman says COVID.
like that, darling. No?
How did you do that? I don't know how to do that. Karen Jarman says COVID-19 vag gel. Ugh. Melissa says, personally, I prefer to be covered in chocolate and be nibbled clean. Has Fanny enjoyed that?
Ooh, it made me feel a bit bilious, darling. Ugh.
Have you never been covered in chocolate and nibbled clean?
No, darling. No.
Yeah.
No. Johnny's normally asleep by that time. He has far too much port, and then he
I see.
falls asleep. And
Ah.
so nobody wants a Johnny covered in chocolate, do they?
Nobody likes a Johnny covered in chocolate. It looks inappropriate, one might say.
Well, yeah. So as he's asleep, I don't cover him in melted chocolate, or myself, in fact, for that matter. It stains the sheets, as you'll remember.
Yes. Yes. Lucy says she has no virtue for us to protect. Famous for it, the morals of an alley cat. You know, we're back to the alley again. You were in an alley once, weren't you, with Chris Jagos?
I was. Frequently, actually, not just the once. Yes.
Is that the same alley that people trip in from when they come back into the club?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you know, somebody once knocked me unconscious in that alleyway? They did. I was walking along, minding my own business, and somebody grabbed my hair and smashed my head into a pole. They knocked me unconscious, darling.
How rude.
Oh,
Andrew Jones wants to know, does Fanny have a good use for dripping?
yes.
What might that be?
Public broadcast. But, you know, it's... Yes, I do, darling.
Really? You're refraining?
No, well, okay. They're very good for making your... No, I've gone blank. Yorkshire puddings rise.
Right.
So if you just pop a little bit of dripping into each, if you make the mini ones, they're a modern thing. They happened in the 80s, which was after my time. But in the 70s, we used to make one big one, because a big one is better than lots of small ones, as we all know, girls, don't we? Yeah. So all you do is pop a little bit of dripping into each one of your trays, or your big one, should you be lucky enough to have them. And it will make your Yorkshire puddings rise to perfection.
Ooh, we like that. We like that. Anita says, Stain, should we ask Bill Clinton? Have you heard of Cardi B's WAP or WAP? I'm too old, Reese. I don't know these things. Personally, I think clammy is worse than moist, says Kat. Well, you would, of course.
I'm laughing at Kat Jarrett's comment. She heard that it was, in fact, Gordon Ramsay who knocked me out in the back passage. I wish, Kat.
I'm listening to some of these comments. Gordon Ramsay. Oh,
I'd love to be knocked out in the back passage by Gordon Ramsay.
Whoopee, another good word. So people are collecting words this evening. Apparently we're too funny. Oh, there we go. Gordon Ramsay knocked Fanny out. Anita says, where is Tallulah Bella tonight? New drag name for Bella. Oh, Tallulah Bell is sitting, lying by her father on the opposite couch. She's under her blanket.
Can we see him very briefly, darling?
No, we can't.
Has he forbidden you?
We'll go with that, yes.
Yes, okay. Is he naked, darling? Is he naked?
Not quite, but
Oh.
Almost.
See, my Johnny will often be sitting in that chair over there, naked, and I forget. So, you know, you don't notice, do you?
No, I don't want to be taken off air, dear.
No.
So
No.
We got more photos coming in. More photos. Guava Bobby's just sent us a photo of her moist, what are those? Quiches? Her quiches. Reese says, Bill Clinton, ha 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 ha. I know, Reese, your mother's atrocious. That's what it stands for. That's what stands for. Oh, I didn't see that. Where's that? I can't see it. It hasn't come up. Andrew, get dressed so we can see Tallulah Bella. No, Tallulah Bella is passed out because otherwise she'll jump on my lap and she wants to grab onto these bad boys, and that's not good. Who says he's naked? Oh, he's not naked. He's under a blanket. Oh, Cardi B. Right, Tracy. Andrew's just informed me as to what WAP is. You know Mrs. Slocum?
Yeah.
Well, you know she has a pussy.
She does, darling. A lovely pussy, I've heard.
So apparently this lady called Cardi B has a wet-ass pussy.
Oh, gosh. Quite full on, isn't it, darling?
Yes, I think she's related to Mrs. Slocum.
Okay.
For the purposes of this broadcast, we shall say so.
So, you know, I would have a pussy too if I wasn't allergic to them.
Really?
Yes. They make me swell up.
If you shaved your hair, you wouldn't be allergic.
Well, you know, I couldn't shave this, could I? You know, it's too...
I'm not talking about that hair, dear.
Okay, darling. Gosh. My namesake, you mean?
Yes. And Reese wants to know what Fanny is drinking.
Prosecco, darling. Prosecco.
Prosecco. Andrew, put your dripping away, says Melissa Reeve. Tracy's killing herself laughing, says Reese. Does Fanny like black pudding, says Andrew.
I do, darling. You know, I love a bit of black pudding, especially when it comes in a big fat sausage shape. You know, you can just pop it in and it tastes delicious. Lovely. Have to make sure you fry it off appropriately first, though. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, my aching ovaries. Don't do that. Oh, my God. Oh, my aching ovaries. Right. Kat wants to know...
Are they in the right place, your ovaries, darling, or have they dropped to you?
They haven't dropped yet, no.
Up, not down. Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Kat wants to know, is a WAP like a Siamese? I think we need to move away from the WAP because we're going to get into trouble. Tracy says, well, laughs. Good for her. We all like a bit of black.
We do, darling. We do. It's perfect.
Big black pudding, says Tracy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a black pudding? Me.
Yes.
I couldn't eat that.
I could, darling.
Oh, no.
I make lovely black pudding. I make perfect. Have you not seen my black pudding recipe? I made a show about it at Christmas.
No, dear.
No, not black pudding. Christmas pudding. Christmas pudding. I'm talking. Forget me, darling. The Prosecco's gone to my head.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Not your even. Just not Johnny's head, your head. Just not my cup of tea, black pudding, but Christmas pudding I like.
I make a lovely one from the vaults of Escoffier that I discovered. And I made it this Christmas. It's gone Christmas. And basically, it's mostly breadcrumbs. So it's not heavy like usual black puddings, you know, that make you have gas for the rest of the day. None of that. Flatulence, yes. And, you know, you just pop it in. You only boil it for 19 hours. So not long. And, you know, then it's done. Lovely. Lovely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've got one in the freezer.
If you've just joined us, we're with Fanny Craddock and we're getting tips about life, love and lockdown. Lots of people are joining in or leaving, as the case may be.
Hey, darling.
Lucy says, who doesn't love a black pudding? Melissa says, just not burnt. Tracy says, cock-shaped black pudding. Moving on. Anita says, I love it raw, grilled or fried. This is getting very saucy. Reese says, nice to see you both, but I'm going to go offline now. See you soon, guys. Well, Reese, you're also in the naughty corner because we're in fact ladies, we're not guys. Melissa says, how does Fanny prefer her sprouts served at Christmas?
How do I prefer what, darling?
Your sprouts served.
My sprouts. Sliced and fried, darling.
Sliced and fried. You've heard it here first, ladies and gents. Sliced and fried.
Yeah. The only way to do sprouts, it maintains their nutritional value as well as makes them more carbohydrated. So healthier for you, because in the 70s we were all thinking about building ourselves up post-war and rationing, and being healthy was to have a layer of fat, darlings. And this is the way it should be, and I'm bringing this back. You know, none of this very, very thin, skinny, healthy look. We want a layer of fat. It's much better. Keeps us warm in the cold weather, and it's more attractive, let's face it, darlings, isn't it? More attractive. A centerfold in the 70s was far more gorgeous. Look at Wonder Woman Linda Carter. How gorgeous was she?
Absolutely. We've been sent the quiche's pictures. Melissa says, do you put bacon with the sprouts? Seems all the trend these days.
Yes, darling.
Again, that
Not
would help
smoked.
the fat content, wouldn't
Can't
it?
be smoked bacon. It has to be just your basic unsmoked back bacon. Yes. Fried and popped in with the sprouts. Lovely. Darling. Lovely.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Hmm.
So, any tips for Sunday? Tomorrow is Sunday. So, people traditionally here in England have a Sunday roast. What is Fanny's top tips for Sunday roast?
Sunday roast, darling. Well, you know, I think it's my favourite meal of the week. Wouldn't you agree? I think it's luscious.
Yes.
And I think you do need either a good bird or a good piece of meat.
Oh, you always need a good piece of meat, honey.
Yeah. Make sure that you've well basted it, you know, and not using a turkey baster because they are just for lesbians. But just make sure that you use a spoon and baste it over. And, you know, it'll be lovely. Slow cooked with lots of vegetables and all the trimmings, darling. But if you're doing a bird, make sure that you've shoved your fist right in and put lots of mushrooms up there because they moisten it. I've lost you, darling. Are you all right? Are you having some kind of
I was thinking about the fisting.
Gosh,
so
does
Fanny have any advice on how to... oh, hang on. Does Fanny have any advice on how to use herring milks?
Oh, herring milk. Yes, absolutely, darling. Eat them raw, straight down in one. It's lovely. You just literally like a shot. Put them in a shot glass, in fact. You know, and just down in one. They're full of all sorts of vitamins. Lovely. Yes, did that not suit you, Lady Martinique? Because I did, in fact.
What happened. I think I might be pregnant.
Well, I gave you a shot last time we met up, and you didn't know what it was. It was, in fact, herring milk.
Thought you gave me a shot, dear.
You thought it was a Bailey's, didn't you?
Absolutely. Thank you, Fanny, says Melissa. Anita says Marilyn Monroe was not a skinny mini. Absolutely. Gammon roast tomorrow, girls. What time shall we be there? Anita, have you invited Fanny and I for Sunday roast? We like gammon roast. We can be there. Fanny has an open top car, doesn't she?
I do, darlings. Well, I did until, no, Johnny blew the head gasket.
Oh.
So I had to take it to the scrapyard last month. But I'm in a Ford Fiesta now, darlings. I was in an MG. And I loved it. My hair used to not move at all with the roof down. Well, and, you know, it's lovely to not feel your hair moving in a 60-mile-an-hour wind. But
that's the egg whites, dear.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Sunday roast. Now, what time do you get going on a Sunday?
Who, me?
For your roast, what time do you start?
Oh, about
Do you
1 o'clock in the afternoon, darling.
right?
Because normally I'm plastered, so I just spend the morning in bed.
Oh,
And
we
when
wouldn't know
I
about
do
that here,
rise,
would we?
I find that Johnny has often got breakfast all ready, and we have our Sunday roast at tea time, you see, about sort
Right.
of 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. It's lovely. Cranberry jelly, all sorts of lovely things.
Ah,
Yes. You've frozen, darling.
I shouldn't have. I'm here.
Oh, there we are. You're back. Yes.
Might be
You
you that
froze
put
on
it here. Jellied eels for Sunday lunch, says Melissa. Ew.
milt shots. Lucy Eggleston said, milt shots. How delicious. Lucy, we're going to bring those back, aren't we, darling? I think, all this disgust at some of the things we used to eat regularly in the 70s, such as fish roe shots, should be brought back. Lovely. Caviar, delicious.
Jellied eels, says Melissa. Jellied eels for lunch tomorrow.
Lovely. Lovely. I make a lovely pie with jellied eels, darling. You just put tartar sauce over it. It's delicious.
Right. And Anita says it's the 3 cans of hairspray that would have prevented your hair from moving.
I don't have any hairspray in, darling. I'm completely natural.
I told her. She doesn't listen, that one. She doesn't believe me.
Now, darling, I must just say I haven't mentioned this yet tonight. I'm thoroughly enjoying your headscarf. How
This
did
old
you?
thing?
Is it a headscarf, or what is it? Is it one of those things that you wrap your hair up in and it's all the way round? What is it, darling?
It's a
Tell us.
headscarf. It's genuine python.
Oh,
Obviously, can you
how
not see?
lovely.
Genuine python. I went on a safari, shot the python, skinned it, dried it out, and
Lovely.
created this ensemble.
It's perfect. Perfect. Good
I'm
use of
partial to
a
a
dead
python meat.
python as well. I would struggle to know what to do with a big dead python, and you've made full use of one. How perfect.
Yes. Well, one must. One must.
Perfect.
What's going on here now? So then the next person says, pie and mash with liquor, says Anita. Lucy says, I think we should think of the vitamins. Oh, she's saying bringing back the
Always.
milks, etc. for the.
Always think of the vitamins.
Melissa says no tiaras tonight, ladies. Anita has one. That's true. Anita has got tiaras. She's worn them before on my broadcast. No, because I use so much hairspray, darlings. So she's not even wearing her tiara tonight because she's wearing
There
too
is
much.
a place for hairspray. There is. If you have an elaborate hairdo, such as yourself, Lady Martinique, you would need, in fact, probably about a can of hairspray. If you're au naturel like myself, I fall out of bed and my hair looks like this. You don't need any, darling. But for you, I imagine you get through 2 or 3 cans a week, do you?
At least I have them on back order.
Yeah. Do you find that you have a hole in the ozone layer above your estate?
Well, yes, I've had it named. In fact, like you can buy a star and name a star, I've named
Yeah.
my ozone hole.
Yes. Okay, you have your own name for the hole in the ozone layer. What is that, darling?
Uranus.
Oh, gosh. I wasn't expecting that, darling. I'm going to have another sip now. Cheers.
Well, one must. Saving mine for tomorrow. She's talking about her tiara. Anita. And Lucy says it's good to be eating on a python.
Lucy, could you expand on that for us, darling? I noticed you do have quite a lot of input, don't you, these live shows. I was enjoying you last weekend, darling. Now, Lucy, you can't make a statement like that without
substantiating it.
justifying it. So we need evidence as to what you are referring to, darling. You can't make statements. We want pictures. We want raw pictures, darling.
We want forensic evidence.
Yes.
Named your own ozone hole, I'm dead. Well, I'm royalty, darling. One must name one's own. I don't think the message is getting through, Fanny. I think people think I'm a commoner. I'm not a commoner. I'm Lady Martinique, for God's sake.
No, you're not. Not a commoner at all, are you, darling? Any more than I'm not.
This live broadcast is going out all over the world.
As far as South Africa, in fact, isn't it, darling? Do you have viewers in South Africa?
Correct, I do.
Lovely. Hello, everybody.
And over England.
And over there, it must be what, 11 o'clock at night as opposed to 10, is that right?
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
No. Lovely. I'd love to go. I've never been. Is it beautiful over there, darling? Because I noticed you have a twang, don't you? Yeah?
It's exquisite. I am from there originally, but as you know, because you know my life story, one of the royals had a dalliance with my mother, and we've had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. That's how I was conceived, and I've come back to England to claim my rightful place on the throne. I'm 69th in line to the throne.
Yeah.
Carrying a title of lady. They've given me a manor and sent me to Dorset and hope that I'll keep quiet. In the hope that I will keep quiet.
Won't be long, darling. Won't be long. You'll be there in no time.
I just need 68 people to pop their clogs.
Are you systematically killing off the royals currently? Are you?
I cannot confirm nor deny that.
No. You know, because 69th in line to the throne is not far off, but, you know, you would need to do a bit of killing first, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
Yes.
Look at the face of murder there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the face. I'm very proud of you, darling.
Well, so Lucy Eggleston says we misread her comment. I put it to her that we never misread it. It was exactly what it said. However, she wants to go on record as saying it was misread. There's a good eating on a snake. I have a fabulous recipe for satay snake. Really. Now, I will say this. Being from South Africa, I have eaten some exotic creatures. I've actually had crocodile steak, if you please, and ostrich steak. Classy bird.
Ostrich, yes. But crocodile, darling, they're reptiles. You can't eat reptiles, can you?
Apparently you can, and I did.
Oh.
In Zimbabwe.
And what
Rhodesia,
did you do?
as
Did
you
you
might recall.
flambe them, darling? Did you?
No, it was a crocodile steak, dear. It was well done.
Didn't, okay. So roasted, fried very well then.
Yes.
But, yes.
Lady Martinique, I have a friend called Lady V. Are you related? Yes, but we don't talk about that, Paula. We don't talk about that. Currently, V is persona non grata in this house, as she has not come to watch this broadcast this evening. But who knows? Maybe if she gets in contact,
Janice MacDonald feels the same way about crocodile steaks as I do, darling. Look.
Does she?
Yes, she's made a vomit face.
Oh, a vomit face.
Yeah. She has. Yeah.
It's funny because you can't read some of the comments and I can't read some
crocodile is gorgeous. Well, there are two conflicting. Now, Lucy, could you quantify that too, darling? Because I need to know in what way crocodile is gorgeous. Because if it is, and I have some, I will include it in my next cookery show, darling. So I just need a bit more information.
Lucy, we're waiting.
No hurry, darling. We're only putting the whole show on hold.
Yeah, time is money. Like, hello. It
Tastes
costs.
like chickens, she said. No, darling, you have chickens that taste of chickens. And as long as you do my getting your fist right up inside routine with mushrooms, it'll be fine.
Who doesn't love a good fisted chicken? So, on that note, we're going to start winding down, Fanny, because it's time nearly for us to leave the studio. We've only booked it for 2 hours.
It doesn't seem long enough, darling. I've had so much fun.
We still had so much to discuss. But I'm off to a photo shoot now because one must have evidence of one's look, especially since it took so long to put together.
At 10 o'clock at night, darling. Gosh.
Well, you know, you're busy. You're busy.
Yes. So you're going for a photo shoot now.
I'm going for a photo shoot at the House of Martinique Studios, and I shall post some of those photos up a little bit later.
Lovely. We'll look forward to those, darling. Because there's nothing better than seeing more photos of you on Facebook, is there?
I'd like to thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule, Fanny Craddock. I know you're so
welcome,
busy
darling.
entertaining Johnny and his needs and writing your book and your memoirs, photographing your Fanny's donuts and other appendages.
It's been a pleasure, and it's been so lovely to see you again. You know, I think I would be very happy to come back on at any time you want me to. You know, if you're short of guests, because I'm sure that, you know, that's the only time you'll want me, really, isn't it, darling? But I'm always very happy to
But what we will do is we will get my publicist to call your publicist. They will do what they do, and we shall book you again. Yeah. I know you're exceedingly busy, so we'll have to do that in advance. And make sure that your hormone replacement therapy is intact.
Yes, I get a beard otherwise. So fortunately, I've got rid of it this week. So lovely. Thank you.
A beard? Would that be the hairy variety or the husband variety?
Both, darling.
Okay. So,
both.
Final comments of the evening. Final comments. We've got Lady M. You look so pretty tonight. I sent you the pictures of the quiches. Thank you both for an entertaining evening. Take care. Much love. Thank you both, darlings. Love you. Good night. See you. So much fun. It's 10:55 p.m. And with that, we're going to sign off. So from me, Lady Martinique, lots of luck and love. And from
me, Fanny Craddock, darlings. It's been so lovely to see you all. I hope you will come back to see my show, darlings.
Oh, yes.
Because every so often I do hold a special, and I'd love to have you on.
Good. I'd love to. I'd love to be on your show. And I think everybody should go ahead, like Fanny's Fun and Frolics. That's her page. Fanny's Fun and Frolics. My page, Lady Martinique. Or our new business page, Tenor Ladies at Large, for our cabaret-style theatre coming to you soon. And with that, it's good night from us. Take care.
Good night, darlings. Lovely to see you.